everyone, and welcome to Snack Break. I'm your host, Brooke Grimsley, and we're here with Chef Curtis Fladd. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Brooke.
All right, and he's going to be making some crepes for us, so I'm really excited to see how this works out for us. And so what kind of crepes are you going to be making for us?
We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to do a sweet, we're going to do a savory, so we'll have one with strawberries and some chocolate. We'll have another with some ham and cheese and a little bit of spice with that. And if there's time left, we'll do a crepette, which is a twist on an omelet.
Awesome. And so we have some of the ingredients over here. As you can see, it looks like a lot, but it's actually not that much. It's something that you can just stop in the grocery store and get real quick, right?
Right.
Okay, so we have some fresh cut strawberries, and we have a cup of sifted sugar. We have 2 eggs, 1 cup of milk, and then we also have 2 tablespoons of butter, which he already has melted for us, and we have some salt and some sugar. So Curtis, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go ahead and get started with this.
Okay, well, we'll start with just under a cup of flour. I've already put a pinch of salt into it. We'll put that there. Then we'll go with a couple of eggs.
And you use the whole egg, correct?
You use the whole egg. Then we're going to add just a little more than a cup of milk. Okay. This batter wants to be really runny. Quite a bit runnier than, say, a pancake batter, if you're used to making those at all. So probably a cup and an eighth, maybe.
Okay.
You can use your own discretion. We're going to start whisking that together.
And does it matter what type of milk that you use, or
It does not. It does not. We're using 2% today. Okay. That's what's normally around our house. So that's where we're going. Once it starts to get blended, we're going to add in a couple of tablespoons of melted butter. You want to melt it and then let it cool for a little bit first. If you don't let it cool, then the milk will start to curdle, the eggs will start to scramble, and it won't be what you're looking for. So once that gets good and blended, you'll notice it kind of sticks to the whisk, but it pretty much runs off of it. We've already preheated the pan, medium low, depending on your stove. We'll give it just a little spray of some nonstick. You won't have to spray between every one. Mm-hmm. Then for my size pan, I like to use a 1/4 cup, slightly under a 1/4 cup. We'll just get a scoop, pour it in the center of the pan, let it start to roll around just a little bit.
Because you want it to kind of fill up the whole pan, right?
Yeah, you want it to kind of fill up the pan. You want to get the batter about as even as you can get it all the way across. We're going to put it down and let it sit for a minute. It'll take just a little bit longer than a pancake, even though it's so thin, because part of it is the batter's thin, and you want to be able to get underneath it, flip it over when you're done. Awesome. We can go ahead and set that off to the side. When we're done with it, we'll just pop it right onto a plate. Mm-hmm. Then we can start with the dessert one after that. This one looks like it's about ready to flip.
And how did you know that that was about ready to flip? It was
it doesn't really start to tear. It's sliding around a little bit in the pan, and I just tore it. We'll go ahead and just turn it.
And you have to be very careful.
You do have to be very
crepes,
careful
right?
with it. I probably should have let it go just a little bit longer. And we'll let it set just for long enough to really just cook the other side. And then when it's done, we'll just flip it over on a plate. And that part of it's done.
Awesome.
So when you're doing that, then you can keep going. When they start to stick a little bit, give it another spray. Normally I just lay out some sheets of wax paper, some parchment paper. I start laying them out on top and just stacking them up.
Yeah, because we have so much left,
Yep.
and so I can definitely see how you can get, how many can you get out of this
You'll
one
get
bowl?
20, 25 out of that at least with a pan about this size.
Wow.
And then once that's done, whatever's left over after the first time you cook, you can just put them in a baggie, stick them in the freezer, pull them out as you need them.
Okay.
So we have a couple going down here already. Actually, we did just that. We pulled these out of the freezer, let them thaw just a little bit. Mm-hmm. If you want to hand me the strawberries there.
Love the strawberries.
You can use whatever fruit you want. But this one we're going to go with what the book said. We're just going to put some strawberries in it.
And this is kind of like the desserty one, right?
This will be the desserty one. This will be the sweet one. And just roll it up. You can put the chocolate sauce in it if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, let's slide that away. If you'll pass me the chocolate sauce.
And this is the hot fudge topping
The
sauce.
hot fudge topping was the choice this time. Looks like it's ready to open up and go. We'll put just a little bit on.
And you can kind of like make this really nice and like do your own designs with it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's as thick as this one. And then there's a little bowl of some powdered sugar if you'll pass that over to me.
Yeah. Now this actually could be my breakfast,
Oh,
lunch, you know, snack, anything in between.
You know, you can do another one with something like this. It's a little blend of both. You could do bananas and Nutella on the inside. Just
yeah.
spread some of that on there, cut some bananas up and put it in. And there's a sweet one, real easy to do.
All right, well this looks amazing. We'll set this for later.
A savory one, we'll pass that over. We've grated up some cheese.
And what kind of cheese did you decide to use?
This cheese is cheddar and Monterey Jack. Cheddar for the flavor, Monterey Jack to help it melt just a little bit if you choose to melt it. We'll just sprinkle some in.
Okay.
Take a little of the ham that you have there.
And this is just the packaged
This is
deli
just packaged
meat.
deli ham.
Okay.
You can use any meat. This recipe called for the ham. If you want, you can go with it cold. You could put it on the skillet for a minute if you wanted to, or in the microwave. Let the cheese melt. Take that out. When you're done with it, to give it just a little bit different, we'll go with just a little bit of nutmeg on the top of it.
Okay. A little different flavor.
A little different flavor. And we have a little Parmesan here.
So I like the combos of cheese we have going on. It's cheese and more cheese.
Cheese
I like
and
that.
more cheese and something to set the cheese off.
Yeah.
You can go with something like that. You can, again, load it with anything. You can do a lot of things with these crepes. You can, if you want to be really fancy with it, you can make manicotti with them. You can stuff them with ricotta and mozzarella, ladle a little sauce over it, bake it in the oven until it melts up, pull it out. Looks like you spent a lot of time on something, but you really didn't. It was really simple to make. Yeah. Everybody will like it.
And do we have time for the crepette, I think? Or
I think we probably do at this point in time. So we're going to take one egg. And we'll just break it up. Actually, could you pass me one of those forks over there?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We got another one for you.
Another one? Okay. And we'll just whisk it up like we're going to make an omelet.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is we're going to use a crepe for the base. So it's kind of like a breakfast burrito, kind of like an omelet.
Okay.
We're going to let this start to get a little warm.
And while you're making this, now you had a book that you mentioned about that you got these recipes from.
I got this recipe book. It's called The Silver Spoon.
Okay.
It's all Italian cooking. There was a lady who put together recipes from her Italian mother and grandmother and put them all in here, and you know, you could cook until forever with this thing. There's so many recipes in there. The crepe recipe came from this book. Some of the ideas for filling them came out of here. So,
and it has all different type of recipes.
It has
like
all different kinds of.
Simple to hard.
Yes.
Okay, and I think that we could actually, while we're making this, why don't we go ahead and try some of these other crepes that we have going on.
While we're doing that, we're just going to pour this around, just like an omelet. We're going to lift the crepe up a little bit on the sides.
And I think we're running just a little bit out of time.
Okay.
But I'm actually looking forward to getting some of that crepette later. Do you want to get started into some of these?
Certainly.
I'll pick the strawberry and fudge, and I'll let you have some
You'll
of the ham
let me
and
have
cheese.
the ham and
Yeah.
cheese? Okay, sounds great.
All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Join us next week for Snack Break. This is so good. Hot fudge was a great choice for this.